Someone can ask that how do you know that these guys actually have 100 years plan ahead for colonizing Africa? How are you sure? How do you know? Have you seen any document? Do you have any proof to support your claim? How do you mean that they have 100-year plan of colonizing Africa from now? And I would tell them the reason is very simple. Like the proof is very easy. Just look at the last couple of 100 years, what they've been doing on our continent. Then you know if they have plans ahead or not. First, look at the last 100 years. That's like now we're in 2025. So look at 1925. In 1925, okay, Africa was still under their colonization. They were still colonizing Africa. There was heavy colonization of the continent by these European countries. You see? So their presence was evidently, felt on the continent with exploiting our resources, both human and minerals, and then perpetuating some of the most heinous and wicked crimes in history on our continent. You see that? That was in 1925. So they colonized Africa, and then they were looting the resources and the people, and they were killing people, a lot of killings and destructions and a lot of evil they did on our continent. Now go back again to the last 100 years. That's 1825. In 1825, what were they doing on Africa? That time they were ending the slave trade, and then they were doing another method. They were engaging another strategy, which is part of what they're using up to today, which is divide and rule. So they brought religion to us. They brought all these missionaries, whatever they're doing, to come and divide us, because as at that time in Africa there was Islamic religion on the continent, you see, from the Arabs. So they wanted to bring another religion that will be an instrument of divide on the continent. So that time there was a what they call a missionary invasion of the continent, an exploration. But then the slave trade has not ended. So their presence was still evidently felt in a very bad and cruel way on our continent. Now go back again to the last 100 years. That was in 1725. In 1725, that was heavy transatlantic slave trade. It was so massive. That was their main business that they were doing that time. And they were carrying lots of Africans as slaves across the ocean. They were taking them to the South Americas and to the Central America, that what we see today as Africans in the Caribbean and Africans in the South America, and all these other countries are Africans in the Americas, you see. So there was that massive enslavement of Africans from the continent to other parts of the world, you see. So that is the last 100 years. Now from 1725, go back again and go to 1625. You see, they were also doing slave trade at that time up to 1425. You see, from 1425, that was when it started. So if you keep going back, you see the plans that these guys have for Africa, of colonizing Africa. And if you do retrospective analysis, like as we've done, you see how they have put all their agendas, all their plans in place, and kept coming in a very subtle and devilish way to keep colonizing our continent and making their presence known on our continent. You see? So if you ask, okay, so how are you sure they have another 100-year plan? I say, you looking at that, you see how the evil plans are unfolded, how their plans have unfolded gradually. You see, And they were always coming with different strategies, with different tools to colonize us, whether it's by religion or it's by the so-called civilization or westernization or whatever. And now this technology thing that is now coming in, it's another tool of colonization that many of us have not identified yet, because they will come in a way that, yeah, they are kind of like serving humanity, or they are like doing something that would benefit humanity. Like many of them have claimed that, oh, but we brought some development to you guys, we brought religion to you, we brought Christianity, the missionaries. Have you ever asked yourself, the so-called missionaries, it was after the missionary came and Africans adopted the Christian religion, okay? It was after that that they went for Berlin Conference, and then the colonization, the real colonization began after the Berlin Conference. Can you see that? Can you see the procession? Can you see the the unveiling of the plans? So you think they have brought something good to you, but in their minds, it's a bait. It's a bait for you to get caught in, and then they're gonna attack you and destroy you. So everything they bring to us, it shouldn't just be like, we're just taking with a gullible mind and thinking, oh yeah, but they brought us something good, but they brought development to us. Did they tell you Africa was not developed before they came? Who brought development to Africa? Were they the one that brought development to Africa? They didn't bring nothing to Africa. It was all strategies to colonize us as baits. They brought baits to get us trapped in, and then they were gonna kill us and destroy us. So that's all you see. So it's not hard for you to understand that they also have another under plan to keep Africa in that underdeveloped and colonized states, because that's what they do. That's what they want. You understand? That is a evil plan. That's what they want. So you got to understand that it's very hard for something to change. And if you want to know people, it's not difficult. Just look at what they've been doing. Look at how they've been behaving. So that's how you know people. At least more than 95% of what any human being does, more than 95% they have done before. You see, any human being that you see, more than 95% of what they will do is what they have done. You see, because humans hardly change, and so do many other things. Change happens, yes, but very, very, very subtle, very, hard, and takes a long time. Exactly. So what I'm saying is, if you want to know how these guys are going to behave in the next 100 years, look at the past 100 years. Exactly. Look at what they've been doing in the past 100 years. That's how you know what they will do in the next 100 years. So it's not hard to know. The only thing that can stop them is we acting and bringing a stop, putting a stop to this. That's the only thing that will stop them, by our actions. And that's why we're creating this awareness, massive awareness among ourselves, that we must not sleep. We must not let their evil tactics to continue on our continent, for them to keep trapping us and giving us baits that are gonna ensnare us and trap us in. You see, very important. We gotta take this very seriously, my fellow Africans. These guys, they have plans. 100%. There's no doubt about it. The earlier you know this, the better. They have plans already made down. The next 100-year plan. And again, you look at how the things that they have done in the couple of 100 years. Look at how the plans unveiled. Look how they unveiled. They first came to explore. They said they were exploring other parts of the world. They came to explore, and then they started at the coast. They started, oh, can we trade with you guys? Oh, you guys have a very nice place. Can we trade with you guys? Then started doing, goods, trading of goods. And then from trading of goods, then the trading of humans, the buying of humans, and kidnapping our people and enslaving them and carrying them to other territories, to other places. Can you imagine that? And then after the transatlantic trade, then they now Kuku did the main thing proper to come and even take the entire land, the entire continent. Can you imagine that? See how they were coming gradually. Yes, coming with different strategies. So the same thing to what you're gonna see now is also the same method. Now they've improvised. They don't want to, like, okay, say they are physically there, but the strategy they have put in place now, they will still put Africa under their control. To still be what they will be in charge, even though they might be not be physically there, but they are still controlling things behind the scenes. More reason why you see many of all these African politicians, like I've talked about many times, that many of these African politicians, they are stooge, they are their puppets. Very important. They are just what they call it. They are just figureheads, just camouflage. This African politicians, they are just lame dogs. They can do nothing. I tell you this, because they kept them there. You see, they kept them there. If African politicians, if they do not do their bidding, they are out. The African politicians, they are out. So for them, for African politicians to remain on seats, they have to do their bidding, and then these guys will they will give them security in exchange. That's how they do it. So they're just doing transactions on our continent, on our head. They're doing transactions on our head. You don't know what is going on, but they know the game they're playing. That's why you wonder, like, what is going on? How come Africa has some of the best intellectuals in the world? We have some of the best minds in the world, yet we're still very poor. We're still going through a lot. Is it like we don't have brains that can solve these problems, or we don't have resources, or we don't have people, or what is the problem? The problem is simple: the leadership. That is the problem. And what is wrong with the leadership? Because these guys are the one running the show. They are the one running the show, and they don't want to give up. That's why if we want to solve this problem, we have to go beyond what they are expecting. We must not follow the routes that they're expecting us to follow. Oh, by democracy, you choose your right leader, you choose whoever you want. That's the nonsense they've been brainwashing us with. Oh, you choose whoever you want. Democracy. That's stupid crazy. That's nonsense. It's not going to be by democracy that we're going to solve our problem. See the country that is developing right now in Africa. Is it democracy? Look at our brother Ibrahim Traore. Was it democracy that took him there? He had to take the power by force. Exactly. So that's how you know that their democracy is a sham and scam on our continent. It's their tool that they are using to keep colonizing us. And if you don't want to do democracy, they will isolate you. They will say, oh, you are a dictator, or you are authoritarian, or you are this, you are that, because they know they cannot control you. So then they isolate you. They turn you to a pariah. But I tell you, their time is up. I say their time is up. These guys, their time, they think they are very smart. I always look at them. I say, these guys, they always think they are very smart here. And for a long time, they have been. But their time is up. Their time is really up. I tell you that. Anybody that knows them, tell them, send this video to them, let them watch. Their time is up. The earlier they know, the better. And we're going to put them to public shame. We're going to embarrass them, these demons. We're going to put them to public shame. These devils that they have vowed to keep Africa in slavery and colonized states. Their time is up. Their time is up. So that's how we say all these things. So they have these plans already, 100-year plan. I tell you. See, their forefathers, they have mapped up plans. Yeah, they have those documents. When you hear, for example, in the US, they tell you all these different documents, classified documents. They tell you undisclosed documents that are only reserved for high politicians, for say people like presidents. You think what do you think is in those documents? They are deep secrets about Africa, and of course some other countries in the world. They are deep secret of how they have put together, okay, this is how we're going to colonize this zone, this is how we're going to keep this zone under our feet, this is how we're going to control this zone, this is how we, all the agenda, everything is all in the documents. But I say those documents, we have nullified those documents and we pulled them to null. We destroy those documents, and none of the plans will ever come to pass. None of the plans that they have in this document will ever come to pass. Because by the power of our words and our actions, I believe that we're going to make a change that we want on our continent. My dear Africans, now is our time. It's our time to shine. It's our time to stand again and dominate the world again. And let the world see the grace and the power that we're bringing to the world. It's our time again to do well and excel and prosper and live good on the planet Earth. Yes, so please like and share this video. Very important. Let's support this, and we keep talking about it. We keep creating this massive awareness among ourselves. Very important. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.